Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Roid Rage, the deck that goes in swinging with hasty men that we can pump up. We have a way to give our men haste as well if they don't hit the ground running. We're running the deck without removals, but we do have a small sweeper to take care of squads of small men. We do have a bit of ramp to help us play our top-end cards. It's a nightmare for the opponent when most of our men can swing in right away. Send it. We start off with a couple copies of Shivan Devastator. This guy can often finish off an opponent. Flying makes it hard to block, and we can make it just about any size we like. The only limit is how much mana we have. The Hydra is similar to the Devastator in that we can make it as big as we like, and the limit once again is how much mana we have. It also hits the ground running, and although it doesn't have flying, it does have trample. If it does get killed off, we get treasure tokens equal to its power so it can help fuel our top-end plays. Bristly Bill is here as well. He's a powerful 2-drop that makes our team bigger with every land we play. And for 5 mana, he can double the number of counters on all our men. That means he instantly doubles our Hydra and Devastator. To take advantage of his ability, we also have other cards that care about a creature's power. Brotherhood's End is a necessary evil in the current standard. It's our small sweeper for men with toughness 3 or less. If we play our cards right, we can make sure that this affects the opponent more than us. The second mode is also an important function, as it will let us destroy artifacts of mana cost 3 or less. That will take care of most of the critical cards in artifact decks. Reckless Stormseeker has been a pain since his arrival in Standard. It's a powerful 3-drop that gives himself and other men haste. We do have plenty of men that don't have haste. Stormseeker will fix that and let us attack with men as soon as they land. Ancient Cornucopia is our bit of ramp that we'll use to help us fire off our top-end cards later in the game. As a bonus, it also gains us a bit of life when we play out cards. We're playing the Hammerskull as one of our big men that costs only 3 mana. It does have a drawback that it will get a stun counter on it if it attacks when we don't have another dino. Luckily, our very next card will help with that. The Stomper is a great 3-drop, as it will ramp us and allow our Hammerskulls to get in for hits. The Stomper is no joke either, as our ramp comes with a 4/4 body that has Vigilance. Railway Brawler is a big guy with plot that makes all our men that follow twice as big. He's the perfect partner for Bill, who will double the counters on our men. He's also a fantastic partner for our next card. Calamity is a big hasty threat that gives us a free pair of copies of the guy we used saddle the fiery horse. If we use a Railway Brawler to saddle this hot ride, we'll get a pair of huge brawlers that are going in for big damages. The first will be a 10/10, and the second brawler will be a 20/20, with trample no less. Nissa is an amazing planeswalker for this deck. We can spit out sizable tokens with the +1 ability, and we can give them haste or double their size, or both. The -1 ability can be very useful in taking out problem permanents on the other side. The ultimate is not something we'll likely fire off, since we don't have many forests, but it is there if we can use it. The Skullspore Nexus is a powerful card that gives us the edge against removals and sweepers. And for an easy 2 mana, we can double the power of one of our men. Why hit twice when we can hit once and double it? For lands, we have 4 Rockfall Vale, the Gruul Duel, 3 Restless Ridgeline, the Gruul Man Land, 3 Commercial District, the Gruul Surveil Land, 6 Forest, 2 Bo1, the Green Channel Land, and 6 Mountains. Playing the deck, like most aggro decks, is fairly simple. Get out any early men and ramp up when we can to set up our later turns. Get in for hits early and often. The pressure from haste men makes the opponent's attacks a bit difficult, since they'll have to consider leaving men back to block. For an endgame, we have a powerful top end that can land huge hits out of nowhere. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Ix Cornfolk. That's quite a handle, bro. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander, no remorse. We've got plenty of 3-drops to play out once we get to 3 mana. As we like to say around here, keep your pants on. Our Surveil land shows us another Stormseeker. It'll be a haste party around here, that's for sure. Well, that's the luck of the draw for you. We've gotten mono red as an opponent. They also have hasty guys, but our men are bigger. Let's play out our big 6/6 dino. The Hammer Skull should be able to brick wall their men the rest of the game. Okay, so they are Boras mono red. Maybe they have extra tricks up their sleeve. So they play out a flyer but then don't send it. That's a whole point they missed out on. Their whole board is about to be taken out. It's kind of like taking out the trash. It has to go. We'll keep our dino back to block any hasty men they have. Plus, we don't need to end up stunning our Hammer Skull when we don't need to. They plot a card but go through their turn without any plays. I'm sad for you, bro. No, I'm not. We'll land our Stomper and get that 6th land. We will continue to hold our defense position to stop enemy men from landing blows. Now, wait a minute, they are actually Mardu mono red. Or maybe they're 5-color mono red? Bro is confused over there. That swift spear is looking rather puny. Even with the enchantment on it, it still looks kind of small. Sure, bro, why not play out the rest of your cards? We drew our sweeper, and we have more trash to take out. Let's fire it off, and we'll also play out one of our Storm Seekers. No plays for them means it goes to night, and our Storm Seeker flips like a pancake. Unless they have a removal in hand that can take out one of our men, their goose is cooked. Our guys can hit for 21. Let's send the team. Time for 3-color mono red to get it in gear or die this turn. Our boys will give each other haste, and we'll give our dino a boost to his power. GG's, bro, GG's. This is standard definition. There will be no high def around here today. We open with a 3-lander that has all top-end cards. Sure, we can land a Devastator on turn 2, but it's a better late-game card than an early play. This is a mull. Send it back to the chef when you don't like it. Then we get a 2-lander with a sweeper and a pair of Storm Seekers. The Brawler is fine, but we're looking at a long game without any ramp. At first I was thinking one of the Storm Seekers could go, but really, the Nexus should be sent to the bottom. This is just an awful hand. Shout out to the Shuffler. Keep. And of course it looks like we've matched up against mono white. The sweeper will come in handy if we can get the mana for it before we're dead. The Stormseeker family has gathered here today. Luckily, that's our third land showing up right on time. There's nothing we can do but sit tight and see what else they play out. As long as it's not an Adeline, we should be fine. Oh wait, that's just as bad. On the bright side, we will be taking 0 damages this turn. The Shuffler is probably laughing its ass off. We've gotten all 4 Stormseekers. Where's our 3 mana 6/6 Dino? With a 4/4 on the other side, we'll go ahead and start setting up blockers. Maybe our Stormseeker will hold off the smaller men while we build up our board and can double block their big guy. That's the hope, at least. That is going to make things very hard. We can deal with the small guys with our sweeper, but we'll likely have to block turn after turn. Our hand is forced. We have to fire off the Brotherhood's end. If they have another removal, we'll be done. All right, bro, put your big boy pants on. It's your turn. Things are going from bad to worse. They now have 2 4-toughness men that are going to be difficult to take out. We get our 5th land right on time, and we will be able to land our brawler. It should be able to slow them down, and all our Stormseekers will be a bit bigger from here on out. They load up their board. This is looking like we won't have enough blockers the next time they go to attack. We can see the writing on the wall. It's GG's, but we'll keep playing the game out. We'll have 3 blockers to their 5 attackers. This is Alberta King, or maybe it's Alberta King. You never know what you're going to get. We get another 2-lander. This one has a bill as well as a stomper to help power out our Hydra. This looks good. Keep your pants on. That's a guy we've seen featured in Insidious Roots decks, but some players also use it in oddball versions of Mono Black. We get a 3rd land, which is a huge relief. Now we can play out the stomper on our next turn and roid up our bill. We knew it. We knew this was coming. Get swole, Bill. Get swole. They play out a conscript, but he enters tapped, so that's not a good blocker. With these decks, you definitely want to apply as much pressure as you can. Another key is not letting their roots tokens get too big. If you can force them to block turn after turn, we can hold them in check. I like the second Stomper draw, but I think we should land our Hydra this time up. It'll be another 3 points of damage, and that will be sufficient pressure to force their plays. Plus, the Hydra can play defense thanks to Vigilance. They snipe Bill, which is too bad, but have a hand that can keep attacking their life total. They play out Tyvar. Their line of plays is almost predictable. They do get themselves a board, but it's a board that's vulnerable to our sweeper. We'll send the Hydra at Tyvar. If they trade, that's fine, or if they chump, that's good too. They do trade, which is fine. We were going to wipe their board, and the Hydra would have died anyways.
Just monsters.
Calamity is great draw for us, but this turn, we'll go ahead and drop our Stomper and play out one of our Stormseekers. This way we'll have loads of men on our next turn. Let's send in the Stormseeker. Maybe they'll want to trade. Any hits we get in is a bonus for us. But they chump up, and they can get their Undying Conscript back in play. That's a crafty play, I'll give them that. But Calamity is going to be rumbling in soon. Prepare thy shorts for a staining. Bill is a solid draw, and with our play we had planned, he's going to hand out some roids and pump our team. All right, Calamity, do your thing. We'll saddle with the Stomper and get a pair of them to fetch out some lands. Bill will be able to add a couple of counters, and we'll be getting in at least one hit unless they don't block. They have another spider lined up for our calamity. It's a disaster, but we still have a Bill on board. And they only have a pair of blockers up. We're going to pass the turn without any plays and let it flip to night to artificially pump up the Storm Seeker. Let's hope they don't double spell to flip it back. Yes, that's a missed opportunity to activate Bill. Team Pump should have been in full effect. We'll send the Stomper and see if we can get through for damages. Their removal is unfortunate. We are outmanned but not outgunned. They send in their Undying Men. This is starting to go bad. We can block, but that means they'll grow their tokens. Do we take the hit? Should we block? We take the hit and hope for better turns ahead. Nissa means we can take out their roots, and we'll have zero fear in taking down their men when they swing in.
We are united in Phyrexia's garden. Enough resistance!
We double spell and break the werewolf lock, but we got rid of the roots, which was the more important thing. They get the roots back, but all it takes is a Nissa activation, and it'll be gone again. They send their Undying Men, and this time we will block. Sure, they can get the conscript back right away, but they're not going to be able to keep the roots in play for long. We drew a sweeper, but I think we have to wait for a better moment to fire it off.
Vanquish the unfit.
Another spider, and then they send the team. The blocks will be tricky here. Do we double block to take out their enormous token, or do we block to prevent the most damage? Let's get Bill up to a 4/4 at least, while we figure out what might be the best way to go about this. They keep playing Roots. I guess they're hoping we ignore it at some point. We'll snipe the Roots yet again, and this time it looks like we can hit the sweeper. Most of their team will disappear, and we'll still have Bill up along with the Stormseeker. Sure, Nissa takes the hit as well, but she'll be at 1 loyalty. Tyvar is not as frightening now that they don't have Roots in play.
Let's pound these metal monstrosities into dust. We're in this together.
That couldn't have been timed better. We get a brawler right when it's best to get him. Let's land this big fella and start making some tokens.
Fight beside us.
Another Tyvar. They are in desperation mode. We should be able to outpace their men from here on out. They can have up to 4 men on their turn, and if we send in Bill, we can have 4 blockers up. Let's mash. They declare it, GG's, and get out of town. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.